Hello everyone, and welcome to Evergreen Health, your trusted source for all things wellness and healthy living, especially tailored for those of us enjoying life after 60. Now, today's video comes with a pretty bold title, Shocking Reveal. Over 65? 5 nuts you must eat, and 5 you should never touch. And I have to say, I absolutely agree with that message. Why? Because the nuts you choose to snack on can either be your greatest allies in staying strong, sharp, and energized, or they can quietly sabotage your health without you even realizing it. You might be surprised to learn that some nuts, long celebrated as heart-healthy or good fats, can actually trigger inflammation, worsen joint pain, mess with your memory, and even interfere with common medications many seniors take every day. On the flip side, certain nuts pack a powerhouse of nutrients that can boost your brain, protect your bones, support your heart, and keep you moving confidently. Before we dive deep into this surprising lineup of nuts, both the good and the potentially harmful, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to Evergreen Health. Your support keeps us motivated to bring you more life-changing tips every week. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which nuts deserve a place in your daily routine, and which ones you should toss out of your snack drawer right now. Trust me, your body will thank you. Let's get started. Bitter almonds. The natural detox that works like a silent poison, American English version. Whenever I sit down with an older adult, whether they're 62 or 92, one of the first questions I ask is, are you taking any natural supplements or eating any so-called detox seeds? Because if you're eating raw bitter almonds or apricot kernels, even just a few at a time, you need to stop. Right now. Let me explain why this matters, especially if you're over 60. A chemical time bomb, disguised as a health food bitter almonds, contain a compound called amygdalin. Sounds harmless, right? But once it reaches your digestive system, amygdalin converts into hydrogen cyanide, a toxic chemical that prevents your cells from using oxygen. This causes oxygen starvation in your body's most important organs, your brain, your heart, and your lungs. Now, you might be thinking, I don't eat that many. A few shouldn't hurt. Jakwa. But that's where age makes a big difference. As we get older, our liver and kidneys lose efficiency. These are the very systems responsible for clearing out toxins. So what may be tolerable for someone in their 30s can be seriously harmful or even deadly for someone in their 60s or beyond. For older adults, just 4 or 5 raw bitter almonds can trigger dizziness, shortness of breath, nausea or vomiting, rapid heartbeat, headaches that don't go away, and eating 8 to 10 or more. That can result in seizures, loss of consciousness, or worse. Let's look at this from your perspective. Imagine you're 70. You've been feeling a little sluggish. Your joints hurt. Your memory's not as sharp as it used to be. You want to do something proactive for your health, so you order a natural immune booster online. Something labeled organic, anti-cancer, detox-friendly. You take it every morning. You feel like you're doing the right thing, but after a few weeks, you start getting lightheaded when you stand up, out of breath just walking across the room, mild headaches that linger, weird episodes of brain fog. You chalk it up to aging, maybe stress, maybe your medications. But the truth? That supplement might be quietly poisoning you. Sold under deceptive names. One of the most dangerous things about bitter almonds is how they're marketed. They're not always called bitter almonds. They're often sold as apricot kernels, B17 supplements, detox seeds, natural cancer fighters, And they're all over the internet. They're sold on natural health blogs, YouTube ads, and even farmers markets. I've seen elderly patients proudly bring these to appointments, believing they were doing something positive. What they didn't know is that just a few servings could land them in the ER. Real patient story. I thought I was helping myself. One of my patients, Mrs. Varela, age 68, had always been health conscious. She walked daily, ate clean, and avoided prescription meds whenever possible. A friend recommended apricot kernel capsules as a natural immune boost, so she started taking them, just 2 capsules a day. Within weeks, she felt lightheaded almost daily. Her blood pressure was dropping. She fainted once while cooking. After 2 emergency visits and several rounds of testing, nothing made sense, until a full toxicology screen showed elevated cyanide byproducts. When I sat down with her and explained that the culprit was her so-called natural detox, she began crying. All this time, I thought I was helping myself. Why didn't anyone warn me? Unfortunately, most people, even doctors, don't realize how easy it is to overdose on cyanide when it's disguised in supplements. Let's talk about it. Let me ask you directly. Have you ever bought a supplement online just because it was labeled natural or anti-aging? Do you know where your almonds come from? Have you ever read detox on a label and assumed it meant safe? Drop a comment below. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by supplement advice or been unsure about what's actually safe, we're here to talk about it. You're not alone. Why seniors are especially at risk now. Let's talk biology. Bitter almonds contain amygdalin, which breaks down in your body into hydrogen cyanide, benzaldehyde, a bitter aldehyde, glucose. In younger bodies, this is processed by enzymes in the liver, especially cytochrome P450, and detoxified with compounds like glutathione. But in people over 60, liver enzyme production drops. Mitochondria become less efficient. Glutathione stores are depleted. This means older adults are far more likely to experience symptoms at lower doses, accumulate toxins in tissues, suffer long-term damage to neurons, memory, and oxygen metabolism. It also means a doctor may not detect it right away because symptoms mimic fatigue, aging, or medication side effects. The safe choice: sweet almonds, and how to tell the difference. Here's the good news. Not all almonds are dangerous. Sweet almonds, the kind sold in grocery stores and used in almond butter, are not only safe, they're beneficial. When blanched or soaked, they can help. Support bone strength, stabilize blood sugar, improve skin, nails, and brain health. Provide clean protein and healthy fats. But you have to read the label. Avoid anything labeled bitter almonds, apricot kernel, vitamin B17, detox nut, wild almond. If it's not labeled clearly as sweet almonds, don't take the risk, especially not in bulk. Always choose trusted, packaged almonds from brands you know. Certified California almonds, blanched or roasted. Never raw unless specified as sweet. And if you're shopping online, look for FDA registration, clear ingredient lists, customer reviews that mention taste and source. True story. The Bridge Club. Snack switch. Mr. Nolan, 73, used to snack on raw almonds every Friday during bridge games. One day, a friend forwarded him an article about cyanide in bitter almonds. Curious, he checked his bulk bag and realized it was unlabeled imported almonds. He switched to blanched, lightly toasted sweet almonds. A few weeks later, he told me, "I've got more energy in the afternoons now, and no more queasy stomach after snacks." He now shares that info at his Bridge Club every week. That's the kind of community wisdom that saves lives. The peanut problem. More than just a legume. Let's take a closer look at one of the most misunderstood foods in the American diet: peanuts. They're in your pantry, your protein bars, your favorite trail mix, and probably your peanut butter jar. They're cheap, filling, and often labeled as heart-healthy. But if you're over 60, there's something you need to know. Peanuts are not nuts, and they're not as safe as you've been told. Not really a nut, and definitely not harmless. Technically speaking, peanuts are legumes, not tree nuts. They grow underground, unlike almonds or walnuts. That little detail has a big impact. Because they grow in the soil, peanuts are especially vulnerable to mold, and that mold often produces aflatoxins, a type of toxin made by a fungus called Aspergillus. Aflatoxins have been linked to liver cancer, suppressed immune function, cognitive decline, fatigue, and chronic inflammation. And while aflatoxins are dangerous to everyone, they're especially harmful to older adults, whose livers and immune systems may already be under stress. A real patient story. Hidden harm in a daily habit. One of my patients, age 75, came in complaining of low-grade fevers, constant bloating, and difficulty concentrating. He wasn't on any new medications. He didn't drink alcohol, but he ate peanut butter every single day. It was his go-to breakfast. We ran blood work and a hair mineral analysis. His results showed clear signs of aflatoxin exposure and inflammation in the liver. The fix? We cut peanuts and peanut butter out of his diet. 2 months later, his bloating was gone. His thinking was clearer. His liver enzymes dropped by over 60%. He didn't need a prescription. He just needed to rethink his snack. The omega-6 problem peanuts are also high in omega-6 fatty acids, particularly linoleic acid. Now, omega-6 aren't bad on their own. We need some in our diets. But when omega-6 outweigh omega-3s, which is common in the modern American diet, it leads to increased inflammation, joint pain and stiffness, sticky blood that clots too easily, higher risk of heart issues, brain fog, and fatigue. I've seen it time and again. Seniors who think they're eating healthy, but are actually feeding the very inflammation they're trying to avoid. If you're on blood thinners, this matters even more. Peanuts also contain vitamin K, which plays a role in helping your blood clot. That's great if you're bleeding, but not if you're on a blood thinner like warfarin, Eliquis, or Xarelto. In those cases, vitamin K can interfere with your medication, making it harder to control clotting. That can lead to dangerous bleeding, blood clots, unpredictable lab results. Many older adults, and even their doctors, don't realize this, but it's a risk you need to consider. The truth about peanut butter. I often hear this, but I don't eat peanuts. I just have peanut butter. Unfortunately, that's often worse. Most commercial peanut butters are full of ingredients your body doesn't need. Hydrogenated oils, which contain trans fats, added sugars, which raise blood sugar and insulin, salt and preservatives. These can raise your cholesterol, damage your liver, and push you toward insulin resistance, all of which are more dangerous with age. Even many natural brands aren't as healthy as they seem. The labels may say natural, but the ingredient list tells a different story. When peanut butter backfired, Mr. Longworth's story. Mr. Longworth, 82, was healthy and independent. He walked every morning, cooked his own meals, and kept his mind sharp. But one month, he switched to a new peanut butter, one his daughter picked up from a local health food store. Within weeks, he started experiencing dizziness, sudden fatigue, loss of balance. His labs showed elevated liver enzymes, a warning sign of liver stress. but he hadn't changed his medications or alcohol intake. Then I asked, "Have you added anything new to your diet?" He paused. "Just the peanut butter." We checked the label. Natural, but full of maltodextrin, a processed sugar, and hydrogenated oils. We removed it. 3 weeks later, he was back to walking his daily 2 miles. No pills, no procedures. Just the power of removing one harmful food. Let's pause for a moment. How about you? Are you eating peanut butter regularly? Have you read the label recently? Are you experiencing unexplained fatigue, inflammation, or memory issues? Are you taking blood thinners and still eating peanuts or peanut butter? You don't have to answer out loud, but please, ask yourself honestly. Sometimes the smallest changes have the biggest impact. Macadamia nuts. When healthy fats. Backfire for older adults. Macadamia nuts have a reputation for being luxurious, smooth, and heart-healthy. They're often found in gourmet snack mixes or promoted as keto-friendly superfoods. For many older adults, they seem like a smart upgrade from sugary snacks or processed chips. But let me be honest with you. As someone who's spent over 3 decades working with adults over 60, macadamia nuts may look healthy on the outside, but they're quietly working against your aging body. All fat, no support. Here's the nutritional reality of macadamias. About 80% of their calories come from fat. They contain very little protein. They're almost completely lacking in fiber. Now, fat on its own isn't the enemy. We need some of it, especially monounsaturated fat, which macadamias contain. But when fat dominates the entire nutritional profile, and when it comes without fiber or protein to balance it out, that's a problem, especially for seniors. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at processing excess fat. Digestion slows down. Muscle mass begins to decline. Energy production isn't what it used to be. Macadamias, while smooth and tasty, offer no help in rebuilding muscle, no support for digestion, and a whole lot of extra calories that are easy to overconsume. Sarcopenia plus. Fat. Trouble. After the age of 60, all of us naturally lose muscle mass in a process called sarcopenia. And when we lose muscle, we don't just get weaker, we also burn fewer calories, feel more tired, and are more prone to falls and injuries. To fight this, your body needs quality protein, nutrients that support tissue repair, and a digestive system that's not constantly overloaded. Macadamias offer none of that. What they do offer is calorie-dense fat that often gets stored right around the belly, where it becomes visceral fat, the most dangerous kind. Visceral fat wraps around your organs, increases insulin resistance, and raises your risk of heart disease and stroke. Real-world example, Mrs. Green's setback. One of my patients, Mrs. Green, 73, had just come home from a hip replacement. She was in recovery, doing light physical therapy at home, and her daughter was doing her best to provide healthy snacks. She brought her roasted macadamia nuts from the health food store. "They're low-carb and heart-healthy," she said. But within 2 months, Mrs. Green gained nearly 10 pounds, struggled with constipation, had a hard time regaining leg strength, felt more tired despite resting more. When we reviewed her diet, the daily handful of macadamias stood out. We swapped them for a protein smoothie with chia seeds, boiled eggs with spinach, a short walk each afternoon. In just 3 weeks, her digestion improved. Her energy came back. Her strength gains doubled. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was just eating something that sounded healthy, but didn't serve her body's real needs. What's really in that bag? It gets worse. Most macadamia nuts on store shelves are roasted in cheap oils like canola or soybean, coated with salt or seasonings, packaged with labels like clean, natural, or low carb. Here's what that really means for older adults. Roasted oils. Inflammation, especially in the joints. Added salt, elevated blood pressure, low fiber, slower digestion and constipation, high fat, pistachios, overworked kidneys and liver. If you already have arthritis, high cholesterol, kidney disease, constipation or sluggish bowels, then macadamia nuts are more of a threat than a benefit. A few quick questions for you. Let's check in for a second. Have you been eating macadamias regularly because you thought they were heart healthy? Have you noticed more bloating, joint pain, or stubborn weight gain lately? Do you find yourself snacking on them more than you mean to because they're so easy to chew? If so, it might be time to reevaluate that habit. Easy to overeat and hard to burn off. Here's the kicker. Just 1 ounce of macadamia nuts, about 10-12 pieces, contains roughly 200 calories, 21 grams of fat, only 2 grams of protein, and less than 1 gram of fiber. And let's be real, you probably don't stop at just a few. Because they're smooth, lightly salted, and bite-sized, it's easy to eat 3 times that amount before you even realize it. That's 600 plus calories of pure fat in just a few handfuls, with almost no support for your muscles, heart, or gut. What to eat? Instead, I'm not here to say you can never enjoy nuts again. But if you're over 60 and care about your energy, mobility, and digestion, there are much better options. Try this. Almonds, packed with protein, fiber, and calcium. Walnuts, full of brain-protective omega-3s. Pistachios, great for blood pressure and eye health. Cashews, in moderation. Creamy and rich in magnesium, but not if you have kidney issues. When you snack on nuts, choose dry roasted or raw, not oil roasted. Watch your portion. Stick to 1 small handful. Pair them with water and fiber-rich foods to help digestion. Pine nuts, a tiny seed that can disrupt your medications. They're small, they look gourmet, and they're often used in fancy salads or homemade pesto. But for older adults, especially those taking multiple prescriptions, pine nuts can cause more harm than they're worth. Let's break down why these little seeds may not be as harmless as they seem. Hidden risk. Unexpected drug interactions. Pine nuts contain a unique fatty acid called pinolenic acid. While it may sound like a harmless plant compound, pinolenic acid can interfere with the enzymes in your liver, the very ones responsible for breaking down your medications. This is particularly dangerous for people taking statins for high cholesterol, beta blockers or AC inhibitors for blood pressure, antiarrhythmics for heart rhythm problems, blood thinners like warfarin or clopidogrel. I've had patients whose blood pressure suddenly became unstable. Cholesterol levels started climbing again, even while taking medication. Bruising became more frequent with no clear cause, and in several of these cases, we traced the issue back to pine nuts. Whether it was pesto, salad toppings, or trail mix, pine nuts were the common factor. Why seniors are at higher risk. Here's the reality. As we age, our liver and kidneys slow down. This means we're more vulnerable to anything that interferes with how our medications are processed. If you're taking more than 1 prescription, a situation known as polypharmacy, your risk goes up even further. When pine nuts alter how your body metabolizes medication, it can lead to drug toxicity, if medications build up too much, reduced effectiveness if they get flushed out too quickly, unpredictable reactions, especially when it comes to blood pressure, heart rate, and clotting. That's not just inconvenient, it can be life-threatening. A strange side effect. Pine mouth syndrome. Here's something most people don't expect. A condition called pine mouth or pine nut syndrome. This is when eating pine nuts causes a bitter or metallic taste in your mouth, loss of appetite, food to taste off for several days, or even weeks. For seniors already dealing with taste changes, dry mouth, or a reduced sense of smell, pine mouth can make eating nearly impossible. I once treated a woman in her mid-70s who lost 10 pounds in just 1 month. No illness, no new medications. She just couldn't eat because everything tasted bitter. We eventually discovered the culprit was a batch of pine nuts she'd been sprinkling on her oatmeal. Oxidized fats. Faster aging. Another concern with pine nuts is that they're high in polyunsaturated fats, which oxidize quickly, especially when the nuts are not stored properly. Oxidized fats contribute to brain cell damage, plaque buildup in your arteries, joint inflammation. For older adults, this kind of oxidative stress is linked to memory loss and cognitive decline, arthritis flare-ups, increased risk of heart disease and stroke. Here's something to consider. When was the last time you checked the expiration date on your pine nuts? Do you store them in a sealed container, in the fridge? Or are they sitting in your pantry, half-used, exposed to air and light? If you're eating pine nuts that have been open for weeks or months, they may already be rancid, even if they still taste okay. Ask yourself, are you on multiple medications and eating pine nuts regularly? Have your blood pressure or cholesterol numbers changed unexpectedly? Have you experienced odd taste changes or a sudden drop in appetite? Are your joints more inflamed after eating, even when the rest of your diet is clean? If the answer to any of these is yes, pine nuts could be playing a role. Cashews. The bone thieves. You didn't see. Coming cashews may look like the perfect snack, smooth, creamy, and often found in heart-healthy packaging. But for older adults, they come with hidden risks most people never talk about. One of the biggest concerns? Oxalates. Cashews are high in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind to calcium in your digestive tract. When that happens, your body can't absorb the calcium, no matter how much you're consuming from other sources. Why this is a serious concern. After 60. As we age, our bones become more porous. This process starts with osteopenia, the early stage of bone loss, and can progress to osteoporosis, a condition that causes hip fractures, spinal compression, loss of height and posture, long-term disability, and limited mobility. Now imagine this. You're doing all the right things, drinking milk, taking supplements, eating leafy greens. But you're also eating a handful of cashews each day. Without knowing it, you're blocking the calcium you need to protect your bones. That's how something that seems healthy can quietly make your bones weaker. A real-world case, Mr. Bradshaw's wrist fracture. Mr. Bradshaw, age 76, walked daily, ate a balanced diet, and had no known history of bone problems. But after a light stumble in the garage, he ended up with a fractured wrist. His bone density scan showed signs of early-stage osteoporosis, which surprised him. "I thought I was doing everything right," he said. It wasn't until we reviewed his diet that we discovered his daily habit of eating 2 large handfuls of cashews. Further testing revealed high levels of oxalates in his urine. Once we removed cashews and replaced them with lower oxalate snacks, his calcium absorption improved, and he experienced no further fractures. Cashews and kidney stones. Oxalates don't just block calcium, they also bind with it inside your kidneys, forming crystals. Over time, these crystals can grow into kidney stones, which are extremely painful, hard to pass naturally, common in older adults, especially those who don't drink enough water. Cashews are one of the top oxalate-rich nuts linked to stone formation, especially when eaten in large amounts or without proper hydration. If you've ever had kidney stones, you know how debilitating they can be. For seniors, the recovery can be longer, more complicated, and may even require hospitalization. Cashews and blood sugar spikes. Most people think of nuts as low in carbs, but cashews are an exception. They contain more carbohydrates than almost any other common nut. For older adults dealing with insulin resistance, prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, this presents a problem. Cashews can cause rapid blood sugar spikes, which may lead to damage to blood vessels in the legs and feet, slower wound healing, higher risk of infections, and diabetic ulcers. If you're trying to control your blood sugar, daily cashew consumption can work directly against your goals. A surprising choking hazard. Here's something else to consider. Cashews aren't as soft as they seem. For seniors with dry mouth, dentures, reduced jaw strength, neurological issues like Parkinson's or mild stroke, cashews can be difficult to chew and swallow safely. I've had patients nearly choke on them, assuming they were soft enough. In reality, their dense, starchy texture can pose a real risk, especially when eaten quickly or without enough fluid. The real lesson about healthy snacks. It's easy to trust a snack that's labeled natural, plant-based, or heart-healthy. But as we age, our bodies change, and what was once helpful may no longer serve us. What supports a 30-year-old's energy may harm a 70-year-old's kidneys. What protects a young athlete's bones may quietly erode a senior's. That's why nutrition after 60 should always consider medication use, bone density status, kidney function, blood sugar control, swallowing and digestion ability. A healthy snack isn't healthy if it's working against your most vulnerable systems. Ask yourself, have I experienced kidney stones or bone loss in the past? Do I eat cashews regularly, assuming they're safe? Am I managing diabetes or prediabetes? Do I have difficulty chewing or swallowing certain foods? If you're unsure, that's a sign it's time to check your routine. Sometimes, small daily habits can quietly lead to big health problems. Cashews might not hurt immediately, but over months or years, they can steal the strength and stability you've worked hard to preserve. 1. Chestnuts. Nature's low-fat, high-fiber powerhouse. For seniors, chestnuts are often overlooked in the typical Western diet. They don't get as much attention as almonds or walnuts, but for seniors, they are one of the smartest and most balanced food choices out there. What makes chestnuts unique? Unlike most tree nuts, chestnuts are very low in fat, high in complex carbohydrates and resistant starches, naturally gluten-free, gentle on digestion, mildly anti-inflammatory. This rare combination means chestnuts provide steady energy without the blood sugar spikes, nutrients that support healthy gut bacteria, a filling, light snack that won't weigh you down, brain and nerve support. You can count on chestnuts are rich in vitamin B6, which helps your brain produce important neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, vitamin C, which boosts your immune system and supports collagen production for healthy skin, blood vessels, and joints. As we age, vitamin B6 and C levels tend to drop, leading to issues like brain fog, mood changes, and numbness in the extremities. A half cup of roasted chestnuts can provide up to 35% of your daily vitamin B6 needs. Real-life example. From sluggish to energized, Mrs. Barlow, 69, was feeling tired, struggling with digestion, and experiencing mental fog. After introducing boiled chestnuts as a mid-morning snack, she noticed improvements in her digestion, energy during daily walks, and sharper memory, all within 3 weeks. Chestnuts gave her gentle, natural fuel without the inflammation or crashes she experienced with other carbs. How to enjoy chestnuts. Safely boil or roast fresh chestnuts until soft. usually 15-25 minutes. Avoid candied or sugary chestnut products. Add chopped chestnuts to soups, stews, grain bowls, or salads. Store peeled chestnuts in an airtight container in the fridge. They're especially good for seniors with dentures or chewing difficulties because of their soft texture. Quick questions for you. Have you been avoiding carbs and feeling low energy? Do you experience brain fog or mood swings? Are nuts like almonds or peanuts hard to digest or chew? Would you be willing to try chestnuts as a soft, energy-boosting snack? If so, chestnuts could be a great addition to your diet. Almonds. America's favorite nut and a bone and muscle powerhouse, almonds are the most popular nut in the U.S., and for good reason. While bitter almonds can be dangerous, sweet almonds are one of the healthiest snacks you can add to your diet, especially as you get older. Here's why they're so valuable. The ultimate combo for bones and muscles. Each almond delivers calcium to keep your bones strong, magnesium that helps your body absorb calcium properly, vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects your muscles and joints from damage, plant-based protein to help maintain your muscle mass. Most foods offer one or two of these nutrients, but almonds give you all of them in a convenient, delicious package. Why this matters for seniors. Preventing falls and frailty falls are the #1 cause of injury for adults over 65. A big reason for falls? Weak muscles and poor balance. Almonds can help by supporting muscle repair with their protein and magnesium content, improving nerve-to-muscle communication to boost coordination, strengthening bones to lower fracture risk. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed seniors who regularly ate almonds had 22% less frailty and stronger hand grip than those who didn't. Real-life example: Mr. Jensen's bone strength comeback. Mr. Jensen, 77, was diagnosed with early osteoporosis. He was worried about his bones and his balance. We added 12 soaked almonds every morning to his routine, along with vitamin D and light resistance exercises. 6 months later, his bone density hadn't worsened, and he felt steadier on his feet. He said, "I used to hold on to railings whenever I walked. Now I walk with confidence and don't need to hold on." How to get the most from almonds. Soak almonds overnight to make them easier to digest and reduce compounds that block mineral absorption. Eat them raw or lightly toasted. Avoid added oils and salt. Pair with fruit like apples or berries to keep blood sugar steady. Skip honey-roasted or candy-coated almonds. They add sugar and negate the health benefits. Bonus: almond support. Brain health too. The brown skin on almonds is loaded with polyphenols, antioxidants that cross into the brain, protect nerve cells from aging damage, help maintain memory and mental clarity. A UCLA study found seniors who ate almonds at least 3 times a week performed better on memory tests than those who didn't. Questions 2. Consider: do you eat nuts regularly? Are almonds part of your snacks? Have you noticed changes in your strength or balance? Are you concerned about your bone health? Would you try soaking almonds and adding them to your breakfast for an energy boost? If yes, almonds might be the easy, tasty addition your body needs. 3. Walnuts. Brain food. That looks like the brain. Sometimes nature really gets it right. Walnuts actually look like little brains, and they serve as excellent fuel for your mind, especially as you get older. Packed with plant-based omega-3s. Walnuts are the richest nut source of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that's crucial for brain health. ALA supports brain flexibility and the ability of neurons to form new connections, mood balance, and concentration. Overall cognitive function. For seniors, regularly consuming ALA has been linked to delaying the onset of dementia, reducing memory-related symptoms, improving verbal recall and motor skills. Strong neuroprotection walnuts also contain polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that cross into brain tissue, reduce inflammation by neutralizing markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, protect neurons from oxidative stress and harmful amyloid buildup linked to Alzheimer's. A key study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging showed that seniors who ate walnuts daily experienced better working memory, enhanced problem-solving skills, less brain shrinkage on MRI scans, walnuts, and better sleep issues, like insomnia or waking up too early, are common in older adults. Walnuts naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Adding a handful of walnuts in the evening has been shown to improve sleep duration, enhance sleep quality, help you fall asleep faster. Better sleep supports brain repair and overall mental clarity. Patient story: Mr. Lawton's cognitive boost. Mr. Lawton, 80, was worried about forgetting names and misplacing things. He even missed taking his medications sometimes. We ruled out dementia, but found signs of mental fatigue and oxidative stress. After adding walnuts to his diet, along with brain exercises and light activity, he improved in remembering appointments, completing crossword puzzles, staying engaged in daily conversations. His daughter said, "It feels like I have my dad back." Questions to think about. Have you noticed your memory or focus slipping lately? Do you struggle to get a good night's sleep? Are walnuts already part of your diet? Would you be open to trying walnuts as a natural way to boost your brain and sleep? If yes, walnuts could be a great, tasty addition to your routine. Practical tips for adding these nuts to your day morning. Soak a handful of almonds overnight, then enjoy them with a banana or your favorite fruit. This combo provides steady energy and a good balance of protein and fiber to start your day right. Afternoon snack. Have some roasted chestnuts paired with a warm cup of green tea. This gentle snack supports digestion and keeps your blood sugar stable throughout the afternoon. Evening. Snack on a small handful of walnuts. Thanks to their natural melatonin, walnuts can help improve your sleep quality and support brain health as you rest. Cooking ideas. To incorporate nuts into your meals. Blend walnuts into pesto or salad dressings for a brain-boosting flavor. Add chopped chestnuts to soups and stews for added texture and nutrition. Use almond flour in baking. Perfect for pancakes, muffins, or cookies, adding nutrients without the extra carbs. Why these nut choices matter more as you age. Not all foods act like medicine, but when you're getting older, every bite counts. Choosing the right nuts means choosing fewer falls by supporting muscle strength and balance, sharper memory and better focus with brain-friendly fats and antioxidants, less joint pain thanks to anti-inflammatory nutrients, better sleep that helps your body heal and rejuvenate, more confident, stable movement every day. Chestnuts, almonds, and walnuts aren't just snacks. They're important allies for healthy aging. Some questions, too. Think about. How easy is it for you to include nuts in your daily routine? Have you noticed any benefits after adding nuts to your diet? What's your favorite way to enjoy nuts? Raw, in recipes, or mixed into meals? Are there nut-based recipes you'd like to try or learn? From real people like you. Mrs. Carter, 72, used to avoid snacks for fear of gaining weight. After adding soaked almonds and chestnuts, she says, "I feel fuller and have more energy. No more afternoon crashes." Mr. Rodriguez, 78, mixes walnuts into his evening pesto and credits them for better sleep and sharper memory. He jokes, "Whether it's the walnuts or the pesto, I'm not forgetting my grandkids' names anymore." Small changes like these can make a big difference. You don't need to change your whole diet overnight. Just start with one nut at a time and see how your body responds. 4. Brazil nuts. The selenium powerhouse. Brazil nuts are big, earthy, and often misunderstood. What really sets them apart is their incredibly high selenium content, an essential mineral your body needs for several critical functions. Why selenium is so important? Selenium supports production of thyroid hormones, which regulate metabolism, body temperature, and energy. Balance testosterone levels in both men and women, important for muscle strength and vitality. Muscle maintenance and repair, DNA repair, and a strong immune system. Just one Brazil nut can provide nearly 100% of your daily selenium needs. Selenium and thyroid function start 60. As you get older, your thyroid may slow down, a condition called subclinical hypothyroidism, which often goes unnoticed but causes symptoms like fatigue, depression, weight gain, slow reflexes, brain fog. Many seniors experience this without realizing it. But in my experience, adding just 2 Brazil nuts a day can help increase energy, improve mood, raise body temperature, and enhance mobility. Patient story: Mr. Franklin's recovery. Mr. Franklin, 74, came in complaining of constant brain fog, brittle nails, and always feeling cold, even on warm days. His blood work showed borderline low thyroid function. After adding 2 Brazil nuts to his morning oatmeal, within a few weeks he said, "I don't need my scarf anymore, and I'm back to working on my woodworking projects." The selenium in Brazil nuts helped boost his thyroid naturally, improving his overall well-being. A word of caution: selenium is powerful, but too much can be toxic. Avoid eating more than 2 to 3 Brazil nuts daily. Signs of too much selenium include hair loss, nausea, skin rashes, a metallic taste in the mouth. Stick to 1 or 2 nuts per day to get the benefits safely. Questions to think about. Do you often feel cold or tired, even when the weather is warm? Have you noticed unexplained weight gain or mood changes? When was the last time you had your thyroid checked? Would you consider adding Brazil nuts to your daily routine to support your thyroid and energy? Pistachios. A fun snack. That's serious medicine for seniors. Pistachios are often thought of as a tasty, fun snack, but for older adults, they offer real health benefits that go beyond flavor. Potassium powerhouse for heart health. Pistachios are rich in potassium, which helps balance sodium levels in your body, lower blood pressure, support a steady and healthy heartbeat, reduce the risk of stroke and other heart problems. For seniors dealing with high blood pressure, pistachios provide a natural, gentle way to support heart health without side effects. Clinical evidence. Lowering blood pressure. A 2014 study published in Hypertension found that adults who ate 1 to 2 servings of pistachios daily saw a significant drop in systolic blood pressure, the top number in a blood pressure reading. Eye health and fall prevention. Pistachios are the only nuts that contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 nutrients that protect your eyes from age-related macular degeneration, AMD. Good vision isn't just about seeing clearly. It helps prevent falls, allows you to drive safely, and supports your independence. Patient story: Mrs. Cardenas and safer movement. Mrs. Cardenas, 73, used to rely heavily on handrails when climbing stairs because she feared falling. After adding a daily handful of pistachios to her diet, she noticed improved balance and confidence, fewer near falls, better sleep. She said, "I don't hold the handrail as much anymore. I feel steadier and sleep better at night." Tips for enjoying pistachios. Safely choose unsalted or lightly salted pistachios to avoid too much sodium. Shell them yourself to slow down eating and feel more satisfied. Avoid artificially flavored or heavily roasted pistachios. Stick to a small handful, about 20 to 30 pistachios per day. Watch out for healthy nut mixes. Many nut mixes labeled as healthy actually contain sugary coatings, hydrogenated oils, excess salt, and artificial flavors. Candy-coated nuts. These ingredients can cancel out the health benefits of nuts and may harm your heart and blood pressure. Always read labels carefully and choose raw or dry roasted nuts without added sugar or salt. Questions 2. Consider. Do you already enjoy pistachios or other nuts as snacks? Have you noticed changes in your blood pressure? Do you feel steady and confident when moving around your home? Would you try shelling pistachios yourself to eat more mindfully? From my patients. Mr. Davis, 75, started eating pistachios daily after his doctor recommended more potassium. He told me, "My blood pressure has improved and I have more energy." Mrs. Nguyen, 70, enjoys shelling her pistachios in the evening, saying, "It keeps my hands busy and helps me focus on eating less." Making small changes like adding pistachios to your diet can have a big impact. Just make sure you choose the right kind and watch your portions. Your daily nut blueprint. After 60, here's a simple, effective daily nut schedule designed for the average senior to support muscle, brain, heart, and overall health. Time of day, nut serving size, benefit morning. 10 soaked almonds, Zard 15 grams, protein supports. Muscle strength and bone health. Mid-morning 1 to 2. Brazil nuts. 100% daily selenium, boosts thyroid function and hormone balance. Afternoon 1 and 1-2. Cup roasted chestnuts. Slow digesting carbs, provides steady energy, aids digestion, and fuels memory. Evening 20 pistachios, potassium boost. Helps regulate blood pressure, supports sleep and eye health. Weekly 3x, handful of walnuts, omega-3 rich. Protects the brain, reduces inflammation, and improves sleep quality. Hydration is key. Always drink plenty of water when eating nuts. Proper hydration helps your kidneys and liver process the nutrients and toxins efficiently, especially as these organs slow down with age. Final thoughts. Let food be your language of longevity. The body you live in after 60 isn't the same as when you were 30. It sends signals, sometimes subtle, sometimes loud, about what it needs and what's harming it. Every nut you eat can either inflammation-proof your joints or fan the flames. Each choice can either clear your mind or cloud your thoughts. Every bite has the power to either speed up aging or help you age gracefully. If you're feeling tired, stiff, foggy, or off balance, start with what's in your snack drawer. Those small handfuls can be the first step toward reclaiming strength, clarity, and independence. Quick recap. The 5 best nuts for seniors over 60. Nut Superpower Chestnuts. Steady energy and immune support. Without fat overload, almonds builds bone and muscle strength, aids digestion with fiber. Walnuts, brain protection, better sleep, rich in omega-3s. Brazil nuts supports thyroid, hormone balance, and DNA repair. Pistachios, regulates heart rhythm, blood pressure, and protects vision. Questions 2. Think about. What nuts do you currently include in your daily routine? Have you noticed any changes in your energy, memory, or mood after eating nuts? Are you drinking enough water to help your body process these nutrient-dense foods? Would you be willing to try this simple daily nut schedule for a month and track how you feel? From my patient's experience, Mrs. Hernandez, 68, told me, "After adding almonds in the morning and walnuts a few times a week, I feel stronger and my memory has improved. I didn't expect nuts to make such a difference." Mr. Thompson, 75, shared, "I started having Brazil nuts mid-morning and my energy levels shot up. Plus, my thyroid feels better controlled. Ready to take charge." If you want to take control of your health and aging, start with simple, nutrient-packed choices like these nuts. Your body will thank you with more strength, sharper thinking, and better balance, step by step. And there you have it, the 5 nuts you should be enjoying every day to support your health, and the 5 you need to avoid if you want to stay strong, sharp, and full of energy after 65. Remember, it's the small choices we make every day that add up to big changes in how we feel and live. So take a moment to check your snack stash tonight. Are you fueling your body or unknowingly holding it back? If this video opened your eyes, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to Evergreen Health if you haven't already. We've got so much more wellness wisdom coming your way that you won't want to miss. And, hey, we want to hear from you. Which nuts do you love? Which ones are you surprised to avoid? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Stay healthy, stay happy, and keep thriving with Evergreen Health. Until next time.